Hello, this is a prepaid call from
Randall.
an inmate at the Virginia Department of Corrections, Red Onion State Prison. To accept this call, press 0.
This is Randall Via. I'm currently serving 1,214 years for capital murder in Red Onion State Prison in the state of Virginia in the USA. This is my podcast, Red Onion Randy. I hope you enjoy listening to me today. Today, I'm going to talk about the success killer. Now, I'm going to give you a perfect example of what a success killer is. You take Conor McGregor, the notorious one, as he likes to call himself. You know, and like Conor McGregor is one of those dudes, like, I love him and I hate him at the same damn time. I love his story. I love his background. I love the fact that he could have went the criminal route, but he didn't. He took that anger and that rage and that hunger and everything that he had in him. He took those streets of Ireland and Dublin that he had in him, and he did something with it. He channeled it and he focused it into fighting, into becoming one of the best mixed martial arts fighters of all time. I mean, he's incredibly gifted. He's incredibly talented, and the boy can run his mouth. Now, me personally, I don't do a whole lot of trash talking when it comes to fighting. I'm just simply going to punch you in the mouth and get it over with. Like, I don't got time to do all that back and forth. However, I understand why he does it, because fighting is a business. Fighting is a big business. There's a reason that man has made millions upon millions upon millions of dollars. It's because he knew how to play the game, and he knew how to play the game better than most. I think the only person who's ever played the fight game better than him was Muhammad Ali. Now, but this is the thing, though. See, he had that hunger. He had that drive. He fought for it. He spent hours upon hours upon hours daily in the gym, honing his craft, honing his body, making himself fast, making himself strong, teaching himself how to take a punch. Like, he did all those things that he had to do. And because he was willing to do all of those things, he was able to climb to the top. He was able to become the first. If I remember correctly, he was the first two-belt champion in two different weight classes in the UFC. Like, the dude did things that nobody had ever done before. But if you go look at his last several fights, he's getting his ass whooped. So Conor McGregor, he did everything that he could to get to the top. But once he got to the top, he started losing. And the reason for that is because he forgot who Conor McGregor is. Conor McGregor isn't a multimillionaire. Not the real Conor McGregor. The real Conor McGregor comes from the streets. The real Conor McGregor is a scrapper. The real Conor McGregor is hungry. Like, he's starving to do something, to reach something. And as soon as the real Conor McGregor got to success, as soon as he got the millions of dollars, as soon as he got the fame and the fortune and the fans and the private jets and the limousines and the posse and all that stuff, he fell. He hasn't won a fight since then. All he does is just get his ass whooped now. And not only does he lose the fight, like, the fights aren't even close. Like, he just gets his ass flat out handed to him. If he stepped into prison, straight up the boy would get raped, because he's not who he is anymore. He forgot who he was. And that's what I mean by success killer. You look at anyone. You look at these successful businessmen. They reach their goals. Once they reach their goals, they no longer have anything to fight for. They no longer have anything worthwhile to get them up out of bed in the morning for. Invariably, they become drunks. They become drug users. They become sex addicts. They become this or that. Like, they lose focus. They lose who they are because they've achieved everything they wanted to achieve. I mean, hell, I even see it in prison. I see it in relationships. I've seen guys, they get the girl. Like, I mean, dude, they are incredibly romantic. They talk to their women, dude. I mean, they do everything they're supposed to do to get her. And once they get her, once they marry her, they stop trying. They stop fighting for her. And because of that, they drift apart. Oh, they may have 2 or 3 kids and then argue and fighting all the damn time, and then they get a divorce. And then they wonder, wow, man, I mean, what happened to my life? Like, how did this happen? Blah, blah. It happened because you stopped fighting. You achieved your goals, and instead of sitting down, once you've achieved your goals, the first thing you need to do, screw celebrating. Once you achieve your goals, the very first thing you need to do is you need to set new goals. You need to say, okay, what do I want to accomplish now? What do I want to achieve now? And once you figure that out, then you can go celebrate achieving your original goals to begin with. That's one thing I've never lost, is my hunger to do something with my life. I've screwed up. I've made so many mistakes. Hell, I've threw my life away, point blank. I've threw my life away. But I still have goals. I have goals to get out of prison. I have goals to become the best man I can before I get out of prison. I have goals concerning my body to get, a certain look, to get a certain size. I have goals to make a certain amount of money. I have goals to help people. I have goals to change the world. Like, I don't just have one set of life goals. Like, I couldn't even tell you how many. I would literally have to sit down and actually make a list of how many goals I want to achieve and accomplish before God says, all right, that's enough. I'm tired of your ass. I'm going to pull the plug on you. Because I've realized by looking at people like Conor McGregor, once you lose it, it's very, very difficult to get it back. Like, Conor McGregor could somehow stumble across this podcast and listen to it. And yeah, it'll piss him off, and yeah, it'll make him want to fight me. I wouldn't advise him, but hell, I won't stop him neither. But even if he listens to me and he's like, man, you know what? This boy makes a little bit of sense. Like, you know what? I'm not the same person I used to be. Yeah, I need to get that hunger back. You cannot lose the hunger. Look, whatever your goals are, it doesn't matter. Make new goals. Always add goals. Every time, look, you always want to have at least 3 or 4 goals that you are focused on daily. And then every time you chalk one of them off, before you do anything, you come up with new goals. And look, it doesn't have to be, oh, well, I want to become president of the United States, or I want to walk in outer space, or I want to become Superman. It doesn't have to be some world-shattering goal. It can just be a personal milestone. Let's say you want to run a 4-minute mile. That's a pretty damn good goal, because there's not a whole lot of people in the world who can run a 4-minute mile. As a matter of fact, I actually ran a mile a few months back, and my best time was 4 minutes and like 57 seconds, 58 seconds. I think that was my best mile. Granted, I'm doing that with tumors in my leg, but, it is what it is. Like, that was a goal of mine, was to do a sub 5-minute mile. And, to put this lard ass over there in his place after running his mouth to me saying, man, you're running so slow. That still upsets me, by the way. I mean, it's not relevant to this podcast, but that still kind of pisses me off that this dude is 300 freaking pounds, and he's running his mouth about my running. This dude can't even run one fucking lap. But anyway, I digress. I'm always creating goals, and I want to encourage y'all to do the same damn thing. Come up with something. Come up with a list. Tape it on your refrigerator, or tape it, ladies, tape it to your vanity mirror where you're doing your makeup every morning. You can look at that and say, okay, I have something to work for. I have something to get up and strive for. Like, this stuff will energize you. This stuff will make you feel better, especially once you start checking them off. Because if you have a list of, say, 50 goals typed up and printed out and taped up somewhere where you always see it daily, and Once you start getting 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 15 of them checked off of that list of 50 goals, like, it's an incredible feeling. I have that in the cell. Like, I know, I'm like, I don't have my list, but I have it in my head. And I'll stop and, just throughout the day and say, okay, what have I done to achieve my goals today? What have I worked on to achieve my goals today? I have a friend of mine, Paulie, in Dublin, Ireland, as a matter of fact, that he's an accountability partner for me. So I'm working on a full-length fantasy novel called The Unchained God. So the title might change, I'm not sure yet, but I have to have 10 pages written by sundown of every Friday. And if I don't, I have to make a recording of me saying something very embarrassing. But it's always been a goal of mine to write a full-length fantasy novel because that's what I love to read the most. I absolutely love fantasy novels. So because of that, I sat down one day when I was talking to Paulie about it, like, hey, look, man, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, dude, this sounds freaking awesome, man. Like, you should really do this. I'm like, all right, then I'm going to need an accountability partner. And you talked about it, and we discussed it, and, worked out the details, and now we have it. If I don't write 10 pages every week, I'm going to have to record something embarrassing. Do those things. Find accountability partners for your goals. Help other people reach your goals because, look, I call it you reap what you sow. Most of the world wants to call it karma. Some people call it every dog has their day, whatever homily you want to call it. The fact of the matter is you reap what you sow. So if you will help somebody else to achieve their goals, somebody else is going to come along and help you to achieve your goal. And that's how you make the world a better place. Because as a person achieves their goals, they feel better about themselves. And every time you feel better about yourself, you're putting out positive vibes, positive energy into the world, into the people around you, especially those that are closest to you. Because the happier you are, the happier they're going to be because people feed off of other people. When I'm here in prison, when I come around somebody, if they're negative, if they're always complaining about stuff, I don't talk to them. I'll tell them straight up, look, man, I don't do no complaining, man. I'm a positive person. I'm not going to be around all this negativity. If you want to talk to me, and that's fine, dude, I got no problem talking to you. But, man, you're going to have to stop with all this doom and gloom stuff, man, because you're not going to have me sad and miserable in the cell looking at the vent thinking, oh, man, I should just kill myself. There's nothing worth living for. That's the way you feel. I mean, go on ahead. It's not going to be me. You're not going to drag me down and make me miserable with you. And I got no problem telling them that. I've told numerous guys in the pod, man, you ain't dragging me down, man. Life is worth living. I have something worth living for because I have goals. Those goals are what gets me up in the morning. Those goals are what makes me work out. Look, one of my more important goals to me, I've got a lot of them, but one of them that really is important to me, I want to build muscle. Like, I want to get the body that Conor McGregor has. I kind of trashed him a little bit at the beginning of the episode. And then, and I wasn't trying to trash him. I know he will take it that way. And a lot of people will take it that way. But the fact of the matter is, everything I said was true. But the dude has that size and that build and everything that I want. But it's extremely difficult for me to get it in here because I'm stuck eating carbs all damn day long. I have no choice. Like, I can't afford to buy the meat products, the tuna fish and the mackerel and the summer sausages and all that stuff to where I can help build the muscle and get the cut and everything that I want. But I do it any damn way. Like, it doesn't, like, okay, I know I'm probably not going to achieve my goals here in prison, at least not here at Red Onion. When I get to King Mountain, I might actually be able to pull it off there because I'll have access to free weights. But that's if they send me to King Mountain, which is, I don't know, maybe. It should have been done by now, but that's another podcast. So I do those things. I make myself work out 6 days a week. I make myself do the push-ups, the upside-down push-ups. I make myself do the cardio and the crunches and the squats and the burpees and all of these different things. Like, as a matter of fact, literally last night, I sat down and I came up with a new workout routine for the next 4 months. Right now I'm 170 pounds. My goal is to drop down to 160 by February the 1st.
You have 1 minute remaining.
And I'm going to achieve it. I put some muscle on in the last couple of months, and, for me to do that, I had to eat more than I normally do, because to get big, you have to eat big. But doing that, you also put a little bit of fat on. So now, I want to take the little bit of fat that I add, and I want to cut it back off again. So that's just one of my goals. But have something that you live for. Because if you don't have nothing you live for, you're merely existing. And existing ain't living. Existing sucks. Trust me, I see it in here all the damn time. Don't let success kill you. But we're out of time, so this has been Red Onion Randy. I hope you enjoyed listening to me. I hope you took something from this. Those of you who listen to me on Apple Podcasts, I would appreciate it if you would review me and rate me, preferably 5 stars, but I'll take whatever you think I'm worth. Take care. Stay safe.
Thank you for using GTL.